When I tell you that my earphones are dead right now, we are so sad. I thought I literally just charged them. Good freaking morning, everyone. It is Sunday. We are getting ready for the gym. We're going relatively early because it is the weekend, so I get to work out at my prime time, which is around 10 to 10:30 is when I like to start my workouts, just because I get to sleep in a little bit. During the week, you guys know I work out at like 8 p.m. at night, and that's just when it's less busy, so it's just what happens for me. If I could work out ideally around that 10:30 time. But today we are hitting shoulders as well as biceps, doing a full breakdown of what I'm doing for my upper body. I just want to take a moment and just say that I am so freaking happy that my recent post of me holding Mike in that front lever, I'll put it right here, got so much positive feedback from men and women. Like literally there was no comments, no backhanded comments, no negativity of, oh, she's too muscular, oh, that's too much for me, or like good for her, but I wouldn't like that. Literally everyone in the comments was like, damn, those biceps, or gun show, like literally. It made me so happy to realize that the people that I have following and the people in my community are just so into being strong, and so into being strong and realizing that you can be strong and beautiful and feminine and all that freaking stuff. Because I think for a long time society has pushed forward that being strong and being like noticeably strong can come off as a bad thing, like, oh, like, don't you want to be feminine, or like, oh, aren't your muscles too big? Cut it out. That's not it. That's not the narrative anymore. We are strong women and we're here to stay. It is super feminine as well as super beautiful. I think no matter what you're doing, as long as you're working on yourself and that you enjoy your body and that you enjoy what you're doing for your body, that is what makes you a beautiful person, not what frickin' society says. Because at the end of the day, we get to look at ourselves in the mirror every single day. Like, yes, of course, there's like little keyboard warriors and whatever and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you are the person who's looking in the mirror and you're like, damn, I like the way I look. I think I look freaking strong. Or I think that I see progress. It shouldn't be a thing of like, oh, I'm scared to work my upper body. Like, that just bugs me so much. But I could literally go on forever. But the point of it was just to say that you guys literally make me feel so happy that my outlook on fitness is so supported and so encouraged throughout the people in my community, and that you guys feel the exact same way. So I want to take a special moment and just say a huge thank you. And because of that, it inspired a freaking strong shoulders and biceps day. So I'm pretty excited to get it started. If you guys haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll be putting out videos every Thursday, 9 a.m. But come September, we're doing 2 videos a week, guys. 2 videos a week. Can you believe that? Jesus, we're gonna try. And then also I got TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you guys follow on that. All the same username, Little T Fitness. And if you guys are looking for something more specific for your training and like actual like programming wise, check out my app. Only $1 for the first month and then $14.99 after. But let's get into this workout. It's raining outside, but that's not gonna kill our mood. We're freaking excited. We're going for this workout, and I'll see you guys at the gym. Warm up time. So we're gonna be grabbing a straight pole, broomstick, band, whatever you have. We're gonna be doing forward and backwards. We're gonna be doing half circles as well as full circles. Now, when you're first starting this one, you might have to be a little bit wider than shoulders, or even a wider grip, depending on your mobility. We wanna make sure that there's no pinching or aches of pain as we're moving through any of these movements, and trying to keep our core as tight as possible. The biggest thing here is, again, just warming up that shoulder because it is a ball and socket joint, so making sure that any of the ranges of motion aren't feeling caught or sticky. After we do the full circles, we're gonna be moving over into just an overhead reach. So this one, the main important thing here is that we're not gonna be arching our back. We wanna keep it relatively nice and straight because we wanna make sure it's our upper body mobility, not our low back, that's compensating for that reach back. You're gonna do a wide grip and then slowly try to bring your hands a little bit more narrow. So again, just trying to keep a nice overhead range of motion. This is gonna help with our pressing, as well as if you're into handstands, it's also gonna help with your handstands. Nice light band. Next, we're gonna do external rotations, so making sure our shoulders are set down and that our hands are just positioned palms to the ceiling, elbows close to our side at a 90-degree, and pulling out nice and controlled, and we're not letting the elbows come too far away from us. Now for bands, I'm using a light TheraBand, but by all means, if you need a long loop band or that's all you have on hand, you can definitely use that as well. It'll just be slightly more resistance. Next, we're moving into front raises, just like a little bit of tension there, as well as some rear delt pull-aparts. Here, we just wanna make sure, again, shoulders are set back and that we're pinching and squeezing, and that when we pull our arms out, we're gonna be starting in front, pulling the arms out, squeezing in that rear delt, and then bringing them back in. Again, just making sure there's no aches and pains or anything that feels uncomfortable. Also, I do find that by filming yourself from the back, you can see any imbalances that are currently happening. So you see that one side's hunched up more than the other, or you see that you're not as active on one side. It's just one thing that you can really see when you videotape yourself. Next, because we are doing arms today, we're going to be doing some nice light bicep curls, as well as just moving into some overhead shoulder pressing as well, just to make sure everything feels okay there. In terms of reps for everything that we're doing today, it's going to be around like 12 to 15 when we're warming up, nice and light. And if you need to do more, definitely do more, but my warm-ups typically take anywhere between, I would say, 8 to 12 minutes on the high end, depending just on the day and how fast I'm moving. But it is crucial to warm up, so make sure you guys don't skip your warm-up before your upper body day. But after you finish this, we can get right into our push day. We're doing shoulders and biceps or arms, and I'm super excited, and I hope you guys do enjoy this workout. Let's get this workout started. Lately with my upper body days, whether it's push or pull or calisthenics or strength training, we are starting the workout with pull-ups. Now, this is because one of my major goals is to get 25 consecutive pull-ups in a row. So of course we have to condition it, we have to work it. This time around, on a day that's not pull, we're only doing 3 sets of 10 or 8 to 10 depending on the day and depending how I feel. Once I get a little bit too fatigued or I feel like I'm not getting the proper range of motion, I will do band assisted. One of the major things that I'm really focusing on here is, if you haven't seen my back day video with Jody, definitely take a look at that, but I'm focusing on keeping my lats spread or activated on my way down from my pull-up. This is going to really help with a lot of my strength and my overall endurance with my pull-ups. So that's something that I've really been focusing on recently. Starting with our shoulder press first, I'm just going to go grab the 40-pound dumbbells. It's always a struggle of how much I really want to be lifting, but today was 40 pounds for 10 to 12 reps. Really quick, just going over form, we do want to make sure that we're just slightly below 90 degrees coming down and then pressing up straight overhead, wrist stacked over shoulders on the way up. Now for our shoulder press, there's a couple things I do want to cover. You're going to see in this video that I do play around with my feet stance, but overall, as long as your 2 feet are on the ground, your bum is nice and flat, and that your back is pressed against the bench is the proper form we're going for. We do want to make sure it's a nice even tempo all the way up and all the way down. And again, just coming down slightly, just slightly below 90 degrees to get that full range of motion. Now, shoulder press is one of my absolute favorite movements for a couple reasons. One, it just makes me feel very strong, but 2, it's one of the best movements that I find that actually translates into a lot of my calisthenic pushing strength. So something like a handstand push-up, tiger bend push-ups, anything like that, I find if I can lift heavy in my shoulder press for multiple reps, not just like a 5 to 6, but again, more volume around that 8 to 12 area, even sometimes 15, that's gonna really help me with my overhead pressing when it comes to inversions like handstand push-ups. Really quickly from the back angle here, I did just want to show you guys what it would look like and coming down just a little bit past 90 degrees. So the elbow should just slightly go below, and like I said, my feet are a little bit more staggered here. I will get a little bit tired and tend to have that right leg tuck in behind just to help with pressing. This was my last set, so as you can see, the dumbbells were a little bit shaky. But anyways, we did try to go for 4 sets of 10 to 12. Next up, we do have a superset. So we're gonna be doing seated lateral raises, which is actually one of my favorite variations right now. Supersetted with seated single arm front raises. So a couple things with our lateral raises. The biggest complaint I typically get with clients is that they're saying that they feel it in their traps and not their delts. So a couple things that you do really wanna focus on. You wanna have a slight bend in your elbow. Wrists will be slightly in front of your body. You're not gonna go straight out to the side, so there is gonna be a slight bend. You wanna pretend that you're pouring a glass of water. So if you're starting down, raising up, and your elbows will always be above your hands. You never want to see hands above elbow. That's just one, improper form, but 2, one of the big reasons that you're going to start feeling it in your traps instead of your actual lateral delt. Now the reason why I like seated too is because it does eliminate that swaying or swinging that sometimes happens, and you can be a little bit more controlled. Single arm front raises, oh, we love a good single arm movement. For me, my right side is significantly weaker, so that's why I do like doing single-sided exercises, just that way I can really emphasize and focus. My right side is weaker just because it's my weaker arm. It tends to be my arm that is more like used for finer tuned movements, so it has more dexterity, so like opening doors, stuff like that. Whereas my left side is where I'm gonna like put all my groceries in that left arm, so it does tend to be stronger. Just to kind of give you guys a breakdown of why. It's not necessarily because I train my left side more, it's just in my everyday life, my left side does take a little bit more of the load. Now for the lateral raises, I do sit on the very edge of the bench, feet are flat on the ground, and again from this angle you can kind of see what I mean by the hands being slightly in front. Now in order to avoid using those traps, feel free to just reset yourself in the middle of the rep sequence. So if you need to take a second, rearrange your shoulders, rearrange your posture, that's totally fine. I think that's way better than just trying to muscle out a bunch of reps and then actually just getting traps instead of your shoulders. And one more thing for the seated front raise, what we're going to be doing here is I like to do it where I rotate at the very top, but you can also just do a regular raise where you keep it either in a hammer grip or you keep it just in a regular, just palm down neutral grip, whichever you like. But definitely play around with variations. I do like seated more than standing as of recently, just again, because I can get a little bit more. Shoulder press part 2, this time we're doing it on machines. So I actually do love a machine shoulder press. I find that after I've done free weights, I do like to add some type of variation, whether it's this one where the arms are moving individually or a machine where the arms are moving attached. So for this one, we were lifting around 45 to 50 pounds. We were doing 4 sets of 12 to 15. So a little bit of a higher rep range here. And we're just making sure again that we're doing proper form, elbows coming slightly below 90 degrees and then pressing straight up. Now, when it comes to machines, some people aren't a big fan of them, but I really am. But it also depends on the machine itself. I'm relatively picky, so when I do go to new gyms, I do make sure that I like the equipment. There's a ton of equipment that I do not like. To name a few, I'm not a big fan of Techno Gym or Techno Fitness, I believe it's called, or Matrix. I am a huge fan of Hammer Strength and Life Fitness brands. Those ones tend to be found at Good Lifes in Canada. I don't necessarily know where they're found in the United States, but in Canada, if you are looking for that, I do find Good Life has some really good selection of machines and I quite enjoy them. So just for your own reference, definitely make sure you try out the machines first before you sign up for a gym. In a superset, we're doing 2 different exercises, the seated bicep curl as well as the incline chest supported bicep curl, or like you can also call it a seal bicep curl, I'm pretty sure. But here we're going for 4 sets of 15 reps and we're trying to do a nice tight squeeze or focus of a squeeze at the very top of our rep. Now, for both of these exercises, I am going slightly lighter. It's more of a moderate weight. You'll never really see me do a heavy bicep curl. The reason being is because I do like to make sure, again, my range of motion is full and then I get a nice tight squeeze at the top. And I'm not cheating my reps because at the end of the day, especially with doing your arms, like you don't need to be doing super heavy weight. Like if you're doing lighter with higher volume and getting a nice good squeeze, in my opinion, I get far better results from that. And that's personally why I like to go a little bit lighter. Arms is definitely one of my more favorite things to work. So in terms of variations, there is a ton that you can do. These 2 just tend to be my favorite because I just like the way it feels in terms of range of motion and actual hinging of my elbows, so that way I can get a good bicep curl. But there's tons of other variations you can try as well. Finishing off my workout, we're just doing some obliques. So we're doing oblique leg raises, 3 by 10 each side. And then we're gonna also finish off with a little bit of cardio. So fun fact why I even started working these is because if you guys remember, I posted a dragon pistol squat where my shoulder fully touched the ground and I came back up. LOL, my weakest point of that wasn't the single leg strength or mobility, it was literally my obliques. So we've been working these in a ton and definitely one of my new more favorite core exercises. And then we just finished off with a little bit of a cycle. Honestly, the cycling for me at the end of my workouts is just like a nice me time moment, and I've been doing it more for like my mental than my physical because I'm not really needing to do a ton of cardio right now. It just really does make me feel a lot better.
And my workout is done and dusted, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed today's workout and enjoyed today's video. If you guys do try this workout, tag me on Instagram, comment below if you have any questions. Again, if you are looking for something more specific for you, definitely check out my online training or my one-on-one training. And if you're looking for something that's more similar to what we did today, where it's just like you want to try out a workout or kind of see what my workouts are like, you can definitely check out my app. That's another great spot. The only reason between the difference between the app and say like custom training is the fact that it's just custom. It's custom to you exactly. So definitely check out either of those options if you did enjoy the kind of workouts that I do. But hopefully you guys have a great day and I will see you guys next time. And like, subscribe, and comment as always. Have a wonderful day.